Good afternoon, everyone. This is Judge coming to you once again for another edition of Judge's Vedic Perspective. So, today we're going to be talking about the final sign of the Rasi Zodiac sign series. And we're going to be talking about Pisces or Meena Rashi. Based on the sidereal dates, Pisces takes place between March 15th through April 14th. All right. This is not the times that you're used to because in sidereal Vedic astrology, the date always falls within the middle of the month and ends with in the middle of the subsequent month. So again, that's March 15th through April 14th for the Pisces date of births. Now, as you know, throughout this Understanding the Rashi sign series, I don't typically cover if that is your ascendant. I cover all of the signs within a chart. So, as I explained to you what it means to have Pisces, everyone has it. It just depends on where it's located. You can't just be a Pisces ascendant and expect me to just make a video about that. No, this video is for everyone to listen to because you can have Pisces in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. of the houses. So, let's get started, shall we? All right, Pisces symbol are the fish. It is a dual sign, or some people call it a movable sign. All right. And this Rashi is water based, moksha based, feminine, and even sign, and is ruled by the guru or the great benefic Jupiter. So, wherever Jupiter falls in your chart, that Piscean energy is going to follow where it is. All right. So, if you happen to have Pisces anywhere, you're going to expect to feel an ebb and flow in that aspect of your life because it being the final sign, you've been on a long journey to get there. So, wherever Pisces sits in your chart, everyone, expect tranquility, peace, and solace in that aspect of your life. So, we're going to start off with Pisces being in the first house for Pisces or Meena ascendants. If you have Pisces in the first house, your features don't appear to be distinguished because you carry traits of all of the previous 11. Those that have Pisces there in the first, you tend to be very dreamy, very laid back, don't really care what goes on around you, highly sensitive and emotional about your life. These are the kind of people that everyone can get along with and not feel judged. Very liberal based. All right. So, with Pisces being a descendant, your karma is letting you know you're just about at the end of the road of something. Your life should be geared towards finding a place of refuge, somewhere where you could be alone or in the dark and just be at peace with yourself. This is what your life is about if you have Pisces in the first house. Take it easy. You have nothing to prove, you have no duties to fulfill. This is how your life is going to go for you Pisces ascendants. So enjoy whatever karma you have to fulfill now and allow everyone to come into your circle because you can relate to anyone because you're the final sign. And that's the virtue of having Pisces in the first house. Now, for Pisces in the second house, this is for the Kumbha Rashi ascendants or the Aquarius rising natives. Why would Pisces be in your first house? Because the second house represents core values, your family members, the money you make, the food you intake, and the earnings that you would save, and also your core values. So the core values of Aquarius is ruled by Jupiter. Aquarians are all about helping others, being an inspiration to the world with their ideas. So when it comes to an Aquarius family, they really don't like being there because all of their family members are too involved in spiritual things, maybe addictions and drinkings and religious purposes. They just go along with the flow. They really have no traditional structure. That's the reason why Aquarians are designed the way they are. They come from a family to where there's too much there's too many things going on to where there's no structure or boundaries. It's just anything goes and it's an ebb and flow. So when it comes to an Aquarius core values, they really don't like to stay at home because since it is a dual sign, they may wind up getting raised by not just their own family, but other families. Because an Aquarius has other things to do instead of worry about their core values because they, with the Aquarius in the first house, they already have an idea of what they want to do. So getting it from home wouldn't really help them that much. It's very laid back at home. So in Aquarius, they will probably get a lot of rest at home, or not a lot of people will bother them that much. So if you're in Aquarius Ascendant, you have Pisces in your first house, check where your Jupiter is to find out where your core values are going. Now, for the Capricorn ascendants or the Makara Rashis, Pisces is your third house. The third house represents your local community, your communications, your skills, your hobbies, courage, your siblings, namely the younger ones. So, what would it mean to have Pisces in your third house? Well, when it comes to your brothers and your sisters, they're not really focused on work, duties, or travels. They just want to be at peace. Your siblings are very nice, sweet, emotional people, but just know that can have an effect on you. And as a Capricorn, please don't look down on them because you are the accomplished one, and your siblings will be there for you just in case you need to find peace and tranquility. They're the ones you can go to and talk to them about anything, and you won't feel judged. Capricorns tend to live in the type of subdivisions that are very Piscean related, i.e., you may have some religious neighbors or someone of the occult, or you may live next to a pastor of a church. This is your local community, and you always want to be upstanding around them because Pisceans, they really don't care how accomplished you are, what you do for a living. They're just here to know, are you comfortable? Are you peaceful? That's what I would recommend for the Capricorn descendants if you have Pisces in your third house. When it comes to your efforts, your perseverances, be careful how you judge yourself. Because with a Capricorn, your efforts are geared towards within. So whatever spirituality that you can channel, it's right there in your own efforts. Try using law of attraction or speaking faith because the God source is right up here inside of you. That's the reason why Capricorns are so successful. When they need to look within, that Piscean energy is there. All right, for the Dhanush Rashis or the Sagittarius ascendants, you put Pisces in the Kendra, the first Kendra or the fourth house. This is the house of happiness, the house of your parents, mainly the mother, your real estate, land owning properties, conveyances, or vehicles, as they would say. You grew up in a home that's probably an ashram or somewhat of a convent in a way, because Sagittarians have a religious bent to them. Jupiter rules your first and your fourth house. So if you were to grow up in a convent or an ashram or out in the middle of nowhere, that's why Sagittarians wants to get away. They want to see the world because they've been confined to many religious things. I wouldn't be surprised if the mother is highly into drinking or practicing alternative methods. But the home where Sagittarius comes from, they get a lot of those beliefs from their parents. Any Sagittarius, they probably grew up around a spiritual mother, spiritual father, and they drove around places where it was a bunch of churches, a bunch of mosques, or anything that has to be near a body of water. So when Pisceans tend to be in the fourth house for Sagittarius ascendant, check where your Jupiter is, because if you go over to a Sagittarius home, it's not as conservative as most natives. You're going to see a lot of things there that you can believe, and you'll have a good time. All right. So, going on to the Varishika Rashi or the Scorpio ascendants. This place Pisces in your fifth house. This is the first Dracona sign. This is a good placement for Pisces to be, because this is the house of creativity, self expression, the house of teachings, your past life good credit, sports activities, things that you can express yourself coming of age as a teenager. It's also the house of children, because children make you the first teacher. So you put Pisces in the fifth house for a Scorpio ascendant, you're going to realize all of your activities are gains towards the occult. You may want to go away and try things that no one has ever heard of. Your hobbies will be quite interesting. Yes, Scorpios like to delve deep into many things. I wouldn't be surprised if you're able to become a teacher in a forest to maybe some witches or some warlocks or some root workers. That's where you would thrive at as a Scorpio ascendant. Even if you have a Scorpio moon placement, just know the fifth house is where you will find your talents and blessings. So try partaking in something that other people would not do. That's what makes Scorpios powerful and interesting. They can really become famous in foreign lands as well. Try doing something overseas that no one else is doing in your local community. I wouldn't be surprised if Scorpio ascendants have children that are born spiritually or may come out a bit uncanny or weird to most people, because Pisces is where everything is relaxed. So you may get a bit lackadaisical with your creativities and self expressions, Scorpio natives, all right? Okay, moving on, we're going to have Libra or Tula as the ascendant. This puts Pisces in your sixth house. This is the house of challenges, obstruction, diseases, obstacles, pets, small animals, acts of service, day to day life and organizations, and service to the blue collar community. For Libra ascendants, they really don't have time for that, because they want to find balance. They're all about the relationships, business, and the seventh house. As far as dealing with problems, this is where Librans get lackadaisical, because they don't want to fight. They don't want to get involved in taking sides, because they meet you down the middle. They take no sides. And having Pisces in the sixth house, they tend not to be the organized or orderly type, because for Tularashis, Virgo's in their 12th house where it's lost. They would appear to be more organized to those overseas or in foreign lands. But at home on their local land, trying to solve problems, that's not what they want to do. Librans prefer one on one solutions, not necessarily to the people. So when you have Pisces in your sixth house, you may go into a line of service like the Armed Forces Navy, or protecting wildlife from the sea, like dolphins or killer whales and seals. You may work at a water park. That's where you can find doing yourself some service. You may find yourself volunteering at an ashram, or a metaphysical store. So if you're a Libra ascendant, try taking up a line of work and doing that of service. A lot of times around the holidays, Thanksgiving here in America, you can help partake in a soup kitchen because you're serving the underclass that may be addicted to someone. And you can also volunteer at a rehab for those dealing with alcohol problems. So for Librans, that's what I would pursue. Okay. Now we're going to the Virgo or the Kanya Rashi ascendants. This puts Pisces in your seventh house. Seventh house is the house of everyone else, your opposition, sexual desires, relationships, partnerships, and marriage. All right. So for the analytical, no nonsense Virgo, Pisces will balance that out because this is where you're relaxed. When Virgos get married or if they form a partnership, especially if they go into a line of business that's inclined towards foreign things or spirituality, because they need someone to balance out that meticulous precision processing lifestyle. Because Virgos can't relax anywhere they are, they're very nervous. They need someone to calm down, a spouse that is used to meditating. Or you may want someone that's gives you alone time. Because when the Virgo looks at the seventh house, they see peace and tranquility there. Just know that because it's opposite from Pisces. So while Virgos are all about logic, Pisces is all about belief. So when a Virgo comes and partake of the seventh house, they can look outside the big picture, quit trying to analyze everything and just let it go. And seventh house is a karma house. So that's what a Virgo can let go, possibly relax, drink, or try some CBD to make them escape. So Virgos tend to escape when it comes to the seventh house. They need a spouse that's more of a guru or a teacher, since Jupiter rules that. Now, for the Simha Rashis or the Leo ascendants, this is going to have Pisces in your eighth house. And the eighth house is everyone else's money, core values opposite of your own. This is the house of your in laws, the house of taxes, joint assets, things buried underground, sex, rebirth, transformation, power, and inheritances. You put Pisces here for a Leo ascendant. This is the area to where they want to be at peace because Leos are all about heirship, leaving something entitled to the throne. They may get caught up in the occult with this being a moksha house. Leos want to be known worldwide, so anything that they want to do to gain power, they would do so. It's like a conquest. Pisces will lead them in those areas. All right. So, with Jupiter being the ruler of a Leo's eighth house, it's friendly to the chart lord, the sun. So, wherever Jupiter is, you're going to be receiving teachings regarding scandal, infidelity, taxes for a Leo ascendant. Because the way they will engage in secrets, because this is the house of scandals, they may get caught up into things they're very uncomfortable with. So I advise anybody that has a Leo ascendant, just be careful of your eighth house because Pisces will allow you to find solace there and peace. And you may get caught up in things that you're ashamed of because Pisces doesn't judge. All right. So moving on to Karkata Rashi or Cancer ascendant. This places Pisces in your ninth house. Ninth house is the house of your father, your first teacher, long distance travel, dharma, beliefs, religion, post grad education, knowledge beyond your own that a guru or a sage will teach you. You put Pisces here. Cancers are all about having knowledge for nourishment. They're very comfortable with their fathers. The fathers may have been into addictions or they just wasn't there really. They accept and are very liberal towards their children, towards you, the native, and he lets you do as you please. When you have a ninth house, your father may tend to be spiritual. People won't view him as other dads would. And your father, he would be very at peace with who he is and your teachers. I would take up education involving things that could relate to the 12th house or Pisces. And wherever your father is, you will find peace there. So if you're a Cancer ascendant with Pisces in the ninth house, your father will be your teacher, and you will come across teachers that are more into spirituality. I would be surprised if none of your teachers are atheists. They believe in something and they have foreign connections. That's what I recommend if you are a Cancer Rashi Lagna with Pisces in your ninth house. Now, with the 10th house, this is for the Gemini or the Mathuna Rashi ascendants. You have Pisces in your 10th house. Gemini is going to want to do something that's going to impress everyone because this is the public eye. This is your position of authority. This is your final karmic house. How your line of work, your career. And at this point or this stage in a Gemini's life, their career, they want to do something overseas, or they may wind up moving from job to job to job. They can't keep them because they're too lackadaisical at work. Because this is the sign of the fish, always flowing like a school. Geminis don't like to keep jobs because they would normally probably stir up something at work, or they always got to keep busy about things. And it's a mutable sign as well. So you may hold one job at a time, or it may be frequent. I just can't picture a Gemini having a long term career with Pisces in the 10th house. Check where your Jupiter is because you're going to bring that ebb and flow to wherever it's placed. You may have a boss or an employer that's from overseas or into religion and spirituality, or he may be a drinker. He may have a vat of alcohol somewhere in his office or her office. So Geminis, be careful at work, especially if there's a Venus in the 10th house of Pisces. Your employers may be a bit flirtatious or they'll let you slide on things. They tend to be unprofessional too because it's Pisces, all right? They really don't care about the structural lifestyle as it would a Virgo. So, Gemini ascendants, be careful at work. Don't beat yourself up if you can't hold a job because you feel relaxed at work. That's all it is. All right, you have Taurus as the ascendant or Vrishabha Rashi Lagna. This will place Pisces in your 11th house. This is the house of the gains of your career, your older siblings, your network circle, fan service, fanfare, everyone that looks up to you, hope, wishes, and dreams and desires coming true. Excuse me. So you put Pisces here. What does that mean? You would tend to have some elder siblings that are probably never around. They appear to be near do wells. You want to be more successful or taken more seriously than your elder siblings, not necessarily your peers, because this is where everything is lackadaisical, where Pisces will sit in your chart. Your friends, your network circles, highly spiritual, probably church going and everything. They're just all around the place. Taurans tend to not have a certain set group of friends. They're friends with all because you have that conservative, safe nature. Everybody will come to you, and your network circles will show that. Because if you look at a Taurus native, you would think, how is he friends with them? Or why does she hang out with those? Because Pisces is your 11th house. Your network circle, you've been around and seen all. You don't judge. And you're willing to accept anybody's fundraising. You're willing to accept anybody's help because you're Taurus. You're about storing up food, storing up money. This is the house of easy gains. So a Taurus is never going to turn down any offers. And that's all Pisceans are willing to do. Coming from different areas, willing to give. They're the most charitable sign out of all 12. That's why Taurans always have a steady amount of income because their network circle has no issue with being philanthropic. All right. And now we finally come to the Misha Rashi or the Aries Ascendant. This would place Pisces in your 12th house in its natural position. So, to an Aries Ascendant, you start your life off with a purpose, a duty. What is my life about? And how is it going to end? Because the 12th house represents the legacy you would leave, the end of the road for you. So, when a Aries start off with a desire, the end game is Pisces. For an Aries, I would say this is what it means to let go. This is what it means to know who God is. I thought it was all about making mistakes, accomplishing things, and seeing the world. No, the end result is peace, not war. You Aries ascendants, you have the most balanced chart because it falls in line with all 12 houses. So your legacy will be somewhat of a spiritual guru because you started off as a child, a knucklehead that doesn't know anything to do with his life. But at the end of the day, you're going to find tranquility in that 12th house with Pisces because that's where you're going to go. You need that peace. You need to relax because you've been at war and at play all of your life. All right. So now that we covered all 12 signs throughout the Rashi series, I want to let you know the reason why Pisces is important. It's the final sign for a reason because this is what we must understand throughout the hustle and bustle in life. If anyone has the opportunity, meet and greet elders because they've been on this earth a long time. And I've noticed that they're more at peace than when they were as adults. That's that Piscean energy. Just be at peace because Jupiter rules that 12th placement. And he wants to be there just to teach you and give you abundance for all that you learned in life. Although Saturn is the Karaka for the 12th house, he takes care of you in your old age. However, Pisces is there to let you know you're going to have to let go of all of this one day. You're going to have to look at the ocean and realize it's endless. So when you leave these avatar vessels, just know that you never really die. You're just going to go out into the waters and you're going to start all over again. If that's what your higher self permits, other than you will go into moksha. Because the 12th house is moksha, Pisces also has an affinity for moksha. So Pisces let you know, relax, because there's much more to come at the end of this road. And as I say much at the end of this road, there's so much more that I'm willing to share with my knowledge to all of you. So I want to end it by saying that and thank you for participating and supporting me in this Understanding the Rashi Zodiac Sign series. Again, my name is Judge with Judge's Vedic Perspective, and I'm also with the Cosmic Answer LLC, where Gigi and I are here to serve you when it comes to Vedic astrology sessions and intuitive healings. So subscribe to us. And as always, I do this line of work because you are the most interesting person in the world. You should know who you are, your purpose, your atma, your soul, your duties, what makes you cry, what makes you happy. You can reach out to me on Facebook at Judge Jackson or at Judge and Gigi Jackson or the Cosmic Answer LLC. I am here for you. My services are monetized, but I am here to help you. So, as always, be blessed and namaste.